Okay guys, Carter here. Let's see if I can make this video. My kid is out of control. He's a freaking maniac. He's reached that next level, guys, where he can problem solve. He knows how to get a chair, push it across the kitchen, climb up, get into the cabinets and drawers. Today he got into a pudding cup. You can imagine how that went. So yeah, I hear him like running around upstairs. I just hear all these freaky noises. So if you see any jumps in this video, it's because I shut it off to go see if he's sacrificing a virgin or something up there. Sometimes I wonder. Anyways, I've been meaning to do this video for a long time, and I got to apologize. One, for not doing it. Two, because two knives I wanted to showcase in this video as being good examples of some kind of intro customs. Not like really intro customs, but you know, like nice medium level intro customs. I sold them both, guys. I sold them both, so I don't have them. And they were the Aaron Frederick Tailwind and the Will Zermeno Azrael were the two there. But I'll do it anyways. So here we've got my awesome Damascus Strider SMF. I will be doing an update video on this bad boy here soon. There's a few things I want to talk about it, and a few things I didn't point out about it, and I just like to show it off. So yeah, there's that. Here is a custom GB. Probably my favorite in my collection. Favorite knife, really. Well, that's our favorite collector knife. Okay, we'll put it that way. Not my favorite user. It's a little too big for carry. And then I've got my Tough Thumbs titanium necker here. So, where to begin? Let's start with my story. I've been into customs and collecting customs for about a year now. I'm just going to keep moving these around, guys. For about a year now, give or take. Something like that. But I do remember before getting into customs how confusing it was. And I don't know, it just seemed like this whole world, I was scared to get involved. Not really scared, but I just didn't want to mess with it. I'm just like, it's just too crazy. Everything's so expensive. I mean, I wouldn't know where to begin. You know, I don't even know how to start. So this video is for people that are kind of like that. Maybe there's a part of them that wants to take that next step into the custom arena, but they think it's just too difficult or too big or too expensive and stuff like that. So let's start with price, right? Custom knives are expensive, and that is a fact. I mean, they are. And I could talk on and on about why they are. In fact, I got a video or two that kind of go through that. But they're not all ridiculous. They're not all this crazy, super high amount. Now, you've got a bunch of different arenas of makers, okay? You've got the guys that are just starting out. They don't have that name. They don't have that recognition. So they don't have that popularity. But they may have all the skills. A good example is Tough Thumbs here. This is every bit as good quality-wise, style-wise, fit and finish-wise. Across the board, this is every bit as good as a higher-end custom maker, and yet extremely affordable. Just because he hasn't quite established that branding, you know, that recognition when you pull it out and you say, oh, what kind of knife is that? Oh, it's a Warren Thomas, or it's a Bob Trezula, you know, where people in the knife community immediately know who that is. A lot of them are starting to know who Tough Thumbs is, though, but he doesn't quite have the name to go along with the price, I guess. And as much as us in the knife community like to say knives are for utility, at the end of the day, the big names get the big prices, just how the big brands get the big prices. So anyway, so getting in touch with guys like this, guys that are starting out, guys that are selling knives so they can buy equipment to make more stuff. You know, they're not trying to create a market bubble around their stuff. They're trying to make it as high a quality and as good as they can and sell it as quickly as they can to get those funds in so they can put it back in their shop or take care of bills or whatever it is that they need to take care of. You know, they're not going to purposely make a wait time in order to keep demand up and stuff like that. They need to move items. And so getting in touch with those guys are a really good way to get some excellent intro prices for some excellent stuff. And probably the best way to do that, if I could give you one tip, is hang out on the sales boards on forums. I'm sure most of you probably do. It's just in the productions for sale by individuals. Just pop into the customs by individuals or customs for sale by maker. Just look through it. It'll give you a great idea of the names that are out there. You can get an idea for what kind of style you like, what kind of makers you like, and how much they cost. You can get a feel for new guys that are coming up and selling at reasonable prices. I will admit, getting into the custom arena does take more work. So if you're not willing to do that, if you're just the kind of guy that likes the ease of popping into Knife Center and just hitting add to cart, then yeah, you know, it may be a little above and beyond what you're willing to put into it. But that being said, you don't have to be a fanatic. You don't have to be hitting the forums and hitting refresh till 3 o'clock in the morning waiting for that deal. Although if you can get some good deals doing that. But just keeping your eyes and ears open is all it takes. You know, just popping into the forums, seeing what's out there, keeping in touch with people. Now, some of the bigger names, what they do is, well, okay, the prices are actually probably a lot cheaper than you think. You may see a Hinderer or a Salmonero, you know, going for $1,000, $1,200, $1,500. But in all reality, from the maker, they're not that expensive. They're not as expensive as that. Sometimes they can be upwards of twice the cost on the secondary market. And the reason for that is the time. Time costs money, right? So if the maker has an 18-month wait and you've got yourself a knife in hand willing to sell, that time is worth something to somebody that wants that knife. They can say, well, I can pay twice the cost and get it now, or I could wait a year and a half and get it at regular cost. So that's where that comes from. And that's why I go into things like knife shows and gatherings where the makers have tables. Because usually when you go to those, you can pick up, you know, maker cost. If the maker's there, he's selling them at his or her cost and not an inflated secondary rate. So you can imagine that you can get some pretty good deals by doing that. So yeah, I just kind of wanted to kind of run through starting off on customs, you know, just mainly less like, I didn't really impart any magical wisdom in this video, but mainly to give you a push, hopefully, to peek inside the realm of the custom world and to let you know that not everything is some crazy $2,000 custom knife. There's a lot of makers out there in, you know, the $100 to $400 range. You can get some really good stuff, and it's good stuff. I mean, it's not, you know, crap. It's not bad quality. It's just makers that are starting out or haven't gotten that following behind them yet, but they've still got the skills to make quality stuff. Alright guys, I hope I've inspired at least some of you maybe to look into customs a little bit more. If not, I hope you didn't mind watching the vid. Catch you guys later.